Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose is back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. All right. We got a busy weekend this weekend. As it starts tonight with Saturday night's main event. And then tomorrow, we got not only AEW Double or Nothing, but we have what we here to talk about today, which is NXT Battleground. I ain't gonna lie to you, I don't like NXT. I don't like Battleground next to Double or Nothing because Double or Nothing actually looks like a pretty solid card. Probably looks, the card looks good. This Battleground card, I don't know, but we gonna get into it. We got 6 matches. Let's get into it. As we kick it off with 6-man tag team action, as we have the Culling, Nico Vance, Brooks Jensen, and Sean Spears, as they take on the tag team champions, Hank and Tank, and Josh Briggs. This pretty much started with Josh's partner. I forgot his name already, but he went back to Japan, so he's gone. So Briggs is by himself. So then Brooks Jensen, who was his former partner, walked up to him, talked about, "You see how you're all alone? Now you got nobody. It must be a trend for you because you're always by yourself." Then Sean Spears came in, and then Briggs was like, "You know what? I'm tired of this. You one-on-one." So this past Tuesday, they had a one-on-one match, and as they were going, the Culling pretty much, or the rest of the Culling pretty much, came in and started beating up Briggs. Then here comes the tag team champions. Here they come out, help Briggs, and this is pretty much how we got here. This is a type of match, really. Nothing much to say about it. I guess something to put on the card, I guess. I guess I got the Culling winning. Yeah, I pretty much got the Culling taking this W. Well, can I say the tag champs and Josh Briggs win? I mean, if they win, they win. I don't. This is a match where, like, I don't really care who wins. It is what it is. So if I was to have a pick, I would pick the tag champs and Josh Briggs. That's all I got for that one. Next up, we got the women's North American title on the line as Kelani will challenge Sol Ruka. Pretty excited for this match. For reasons, of course. But 1 year ago, Kelani became the first ever women's North American champion in this same event last year. So now she's walking into this event again, this time the challenger. Another person that was in that match was Sol Ruka, and she was actually one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to win that match. So look what a year makes. Kalani's now the challenger, Sol Ruka's now the champion. The other reason why I'm excited about this match is because these two actually had a one-on-one match on the next pay-per-view last year, Heatwave. And in my mind, that was probably one of the better women's matches of last year. That match was so good. So good. I can only imagine what they'll do in this one. Now, I ain't going to put my expectations at a point, so I'll just say I hope this is a good match. And I got Sol Ruka retaining because I believe is this her first title defense? I can't remember. This is her first title defense. I know she's had the title for months because she wanted that Stand and Deliver. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I got Sol Ruka retaining. I hope this is a banger because this should be. Next up, we got a personal one here. As Stacks takes on Tony D'Angelo. And this stems from Stand and Deliver, when it was the Family versus Dark State. And Stacks turned his back on Tony. He didn't really turn his back on the Family. He turned his back on Tony. But then as the weeks went on, yeah, he pretty much turned his back on the Family as well. He took out Lucifino in the desert. I think the week, was it the NXT after Stand? I think the NXT after Stand Deliver, he took out Lucifino. We have no idea where he is. Tony told Lizzo to stay home and hide out. Was it this past NXT? I think it was 2 weeks ago. Stacks was looking for Lizzo. He drew Tony out. Tony went all the way to Lizzo's house, only to get jumped by Stacks. And here we are, pretty much. Stacks' reasoning for turning on Tony was he felt he wasn't making the right decisions. So because of that, he made this drastic move. Now we get the grudge match. I don't know who wins. I want to say Stacks gets one up on Tony, but then I can see Tony winning. But I could also see somebody coming to Stacks' aid. And then Stacks creates his own family. Now, who that could be, I have no idea. But that's what I'm getting in my mind. See, Stacks feels he's no longer the underboss. So because he feels that way, he can go out there and create his own family. I don't know who would join it, but that's the rotating thing I'm getting in my mind. So if that's the case, if that's what I'm thinking, you know what? I got Stacks winning. Somebody helps Stacks get the W. That's kind of how you look at it. So, yeah, I got Stacks winning. As we move on to the NXT Women's title on the line, it's La Primera. Stephanie Vaquer. She defends against Jordynne Grace, the Juggernaut. So, this is actually Jordynne Grace's second Battleground in a row where she will be fighting for the women's title. You remember last year, literally a year ago, Jordynne Grace was the TNA Women's Champion. It's TNA Knockout shit. Okay. The TNA Knockout. So I didn't know if they took out the knockout yet. So 1 year ago, Jordynne Grace was the TNA Knockouts champion. And she faced Roxanne Perez, who was the NXT Women's Champion at the time. She lost. 1 year ago, 1 year later, here we are again. This time, Stephanie is champion. Was Stephanie even in NXT? No, she didn't even get to that. She wasn't even in NXT yet. She didn't even get there yet. This should be a pretty good match. It's pretty much power versus speed. Although Jordynne Grace is pretty pretty fast for her own size, you know. But either way, I see this to be a banger of a women's match. This actually should be really good. I got Stephanie retaining. Because Stephanie's had this championship since what? March? When was Roadblock? That was April. No, that was March. It was March, yeah. Because Stand and Deliver was in April. Yep. Yeah, okay. So she's had this title for about pretty much 2 months now. She's had it title for 2 months. Yeah, I got Stephanie retaining. I know Jordynne Grace will be NXT champion before she hits that main roster. I know that for a fact. I know that. But not right now. Not right now. But yeah, I got Stephanie retaining. That's pretty much all I got. Speaking of TNA, our next match is about to be historic. Because for the first time ever, the TNA World title will be defended on a WWE PLE. As, you know, when you say his name, he appears. I always look. But Joe Hendry will defend the TNA Championship against Trick Williams. So this pretty much got started when on the NXT after Stand and Deliver. Trick Williams went out there and he pretty much said, you know, I want my NXT title match. I didn't get my one-on-one shot. Oba, give me my match. When surprisingly, Joe Hendry makes an appearance. And he pretty much tells Oba, me and you gotta have this one-on-one talk. Me and you gotta talk one day. And as he's saying that, Trick Williams feels disrespected because he's like, yo. This is me. I'm first. You in the back of the line. Don't ever disrespect me like that. And as he was talking, I think Oba and Hendry both took him out. So from there, what pay-per-view was that? Was that Under Siege? No, it wasn't Under Siege. That was God, TNA had I forgot the pay-per-view. It was I forgot the pay-per-view off the top of the head. But I know Joe Hendry defended the TNA Championship against Frankie Kazarian and Ethan Page in a triple threat. And when he retained, Trick Williams came from behind, out of nowhere, and pretty much beat the hell out of Joe Hendry. So the next on TNA, on Impact, Joe Hendry was out there. He was like, Trick Williams, I'm calling you out. Come in. And then Trick Williams was like, nah, I wouldn't be out there, but I got a battle royal to focus on. I want my title back. So we're going to have this conversation, but not right now. Pretty much he said. So I believe it was in 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, there was a 25-man battle royal to determine who faces Obafemi at Battleground. So Trick Williams looked like he was dominating. When from out of nowhere, Joe Hendry's music plays. He walks out there, and he pretty much costs Trick Williams the title. Or pretty much cost Trick Williams the match. This was after Trick Williams cost Joe Hendry and the tag team champions, Hank and Tank, a match against Dark State. So I believe Under Siege was last. I believe TNA Under Siege was last night. Yeah, that was actually last night, and there was actually a tag team match between Trick Williams and Frankie Kazarian versus Elijah and Joe Hendry. I actually had no idea who won that, but I know that happened. So now that they got some frustrations out the way, here we are. I got Joe Hendry retaining. No good and damn well Trick Williams is not winning. I know good and damn well Trick Williams is not winning the TNA title. So I got Joe winning, but it actually should be a pretty solid match, all things considered. So yeah, I believe Joe Hendry will retain. All this leading up to the main event. And it's a main event I didn't see coming. It's a main event I don't think anybody saw coming. As the ruler, Obafemi will defend the NXT Championship against no quarter catch crew's Miles Bourne. So I just spoke about the 25-man battle royal that whoever won would face Obafemi for the title at Battleground. And that's who won. Miles Bourne. Shocked the world. Shocked the entire world. Miles Bourne is going to face Obafemi for the title. I didn't see it coming. And I've been still trying to figure it. I've been still trying to figure out how I feel about it. I just have one problem. You had 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks to build this up. Convince me in some way that Miles Bourne has a chance. To be honest, I don't think they did that. I don't think NXT convinced me that, okay, Miles Bourne is a guy that I could see him having a chance. I also understand why they call him Baby Randy Orton. Because I looked that man dead in his face on Tuesday. He looked just like Randy Orton. I swear to God, he looked just like Randy Orton. I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't get it at first because I'm like, I don't understand. And then I looked at his face, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. I get it. But yeah, I don't think NXT convinced me that Miles Bourne will beat Obafemi for the title. I mean, I know he won't. I know he won't, but I don't know. This feels weird. Like, you didn't establish him enough for me to feel like this is a legitimate challenger here. You know what I'm saying? But then again, you look at everybody in the Battle Royal, there was nobody else I could really sit here and say, okay, I see them, getting the shot. It's a weird situation, bro. Like, if anybody, I thought it'd be Javon Evans. And then that makes sense, Javon Evans getting the shot makes sense. But, yeah. I still don't know what to think about this match. Like, it might be a very good match. Miles Bourne is actually pretty good in the ring. Him and Tavion Heights, as a tag team, pretty damn good. They're a pretty damn good team. But Miles Bourne's by himself. And I don't believe there's been a lot of matches where he's been by himself. So it's gonna be interesting. It'll be an interesting watch. I'll say that. But I got Obafemi retaining, 100%. Again, you haven't really convinced me anything. Now, you shocked me with the fact that he became number one contender. If you shock me saying that man will become the NXT champion, then I don't. I don't know. I would have no idea how to feel. I wouldn't know. But deep down, I got Obafemi retaining. I got no doubt about that. The ruler will still be the ruler. And those are my NXT Battleground predictions. It will be tomorrow, along with Double or Nothing. I might catch Double or Nothing. I ain't gonna lie to you. I might watch the last 2 matches, I believe. I believe the last 2 matches will be Anarchy in the Arena. That might be a crazy-ass match. And then Will Ospreay and Adam Page will be the main event. So that should be... Both those matches should be fire. Both those matches should be fire. But yeah, other than that, You already know I'm be tuned at the Battleground. I watch it, and then we'll review it. You already know how we do. So until next time, peace, love, wanted. You heard?